I'm Joe.
I'm Danny. We're with Mahe. Hi, Mahe. Got you on. Really want to talk about Bradford and the business scene in particular. And I thought where to start is one of my favourite things about Bradford is the food. Let's talk about the restaurant scene.
About the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
well, I think everyone knows mainly that this place is the curry capital now and has been for the last 4 years. So if we're talking about food, it depends what type of food you want to talk about. If we're just talking about fast food, I mean, we've easily got, I'd say, over 100 fast food places just on one street on Leeds Road, if we're just talking about Leeds Road.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to move over to Great Horton Road, there's probably another 100 there as well. There'll be too much to list. But in terms of food, I mean, there's definitely enough food here for anyone and everyone. I mean, it depends on what you want. If you want steak, there's got steak houses. If you want burgers, we've got burger places. And now we've got the new rise of smash burgers. That's kind of the new trend right now. Big, juicy burgers that everyone loves. I mean, it's kind of taken over Bradford at the moment. But in terms of restaurant, even big restaurants, we've got businesses that have been here for maybe 20 odd years, like International and Kashmir.
That's my favourite curry house. That is my favourite International. Yeah.
Everyone loves that place. I mean, it depends what side you want to talk about. Most of the places that are in Bradford, I mean, we're just talking in terms of Indian curry houses. Me personally, I don't really go to many curry houses because, you know, we get that at home and whatnot. But I do know a lot of my friends, they love coming here for curry. For example, Akbar's. We've got Akbar's there, 3 of them on one street. So in terms of food, I mean...
Lamb chops from Akbar's hard to beat.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, the lamb chops, they talk about the lamb chops, don't they?
Yeah.
But in terms of food, I don't think there's many places that can beat us, honest to God. Yeah. Definitely not in variety and definitely not on price. And that's
definitely not on price, yeah.
Variety as well, you'd be hard pushed to find anywhere with such variety.
Yeah. And flavour.
Yeah, flavour. This is what
chops.
I'm saying. I mean, all the flavour comes from Asia. So
even when it's
yeah, go on.
There's like a Bradford fusion now, isn't there?
Yeah,
even if it's like if you get like Turkish style shawarma, they've got like your Asian style sauces and spices on it at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a fusion of things now, isn't it? Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, if we're talking shawarmas, Nusrat Shawarma on Manningham Lane, they've literally, I think they're in the top 10 kebab houses in the UK now. I'm sure they just won an award last month, actually.
That doesn't surprise me. And like you said, so cheap. Can't beat on price either. Cheap, tasty, delicious. Yeah, so curry houses, burger houses, kebab shops. We've got loads of
Even in the array of, say, for example, home cooking, like let's just talk about if you want a particular type of meat. Some cities it might be hard to come by and also very expensive by the kg as well. But in Bradford, I mean, you got like places like Alpha La, Pakiza, places like this, you can get meat really, really cheap. Whether it's, you know, depends on your preference and what you want, really. And on another sense, like the businesses that are coming, like the newfound businesses, restaurants, for example, there's Meza. Don't know if you've seen it. It's just behind Great Horton Road. That's a bit more of like a like kabedas and stuff like that. So a bit more Persian, a bit like classic Persia. So in terms of the broadness, I mean, there's definitely something here for everyone. And that's one of the selling points of our city, I would say.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah,
can't get a lot of food in Bradford, can you?
No, you can't. I mean, even in lockdown, mate, like I'll just name a few of my friends' places. For example, there's a place called Smash Patties. They started in lockdown and he was doing it from his house. And now 7-8 months later, he's got a place just behind Great Horton Road. So it shows the growth in terms of business as well.
And starting in lockdown as well, that's a sort of real Bradford enterprise in.
No, that is real Bradford enterprise adaptation. That's what we are in this city.
We don't mess about. Yeah. And like you said, yeah, there's loads of new places. Well, there's a new African place in the Ostermarket as well. They started just before lockdown, but they're doing good cheap food. If you get Nigeria, you can get all your jollof rice.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
I've seen those. They're good, man.
There's we were talking to Daniel Bellis from Connecting Roma as well. There's a Roma food place as well. Salah's just opposite the Ostermarket, so you can get all that sort of Eastern European style.
Salah's. Yeah, I've been there yet, but I've heard some good things about it.
I tried to go.
We've got a reunion booked there at some point next year, haven't we?
Yeah, so we'll go together. Yeah, the restaurant scene, obviously, it's going to be hard to beat that in the rest of the UK and Bradford. But then we've got lots of other business scenes as well. I mean, one of the big things in Bradford is the car scene, isn't it? The garages, the upgrades, the specials. Tell us a bit about that.
No, definitely. Well, one of the biggest things about Bradford is the car culture. I mean, there's so many car meets that go on here. For example, before lockdown, I'm pretty sure that every Sunday or Monday, they used to have a car meet just on the side of Cha-Cha-Chais. It was actually a guy called Mo, and he's called BFD Modified Club. He's quite big on Instagram. He used to set up loads of car meets for people, so they used to come. And it depends if you're into it. I mean, I would say I'm not that into cars, but I'd be lying. That's what is the truth, because I am actually into cars. I just don't want to spend so much money on buying a big one, really. But there's definitely, I mean, the first Bugatti in England was in Bradford.
Was it?
And that's fact, yeah. So people don't know facts like this, but if you're talking in terms of car culture, I mean, even the car culture in terms of a business, like we're talking about some of the businesses we have, like N Khan's. They're easily one of the most world-known car detailing, car modified places that you can go and get your car done in the whole world. I mean, Charlie Sloth's come down. People from Russia have come down. Sonny B. Williams has come down. I mean, the amount of customers he's got through his door just shows the quality of his work. And if you want to name a few other places, we've got Roman's Car Detailing, and that's on Thornton Road. And them guys, like, they've worked with a few big artists in the last year. For example, Tom Zanetti, Silky, and they've literally provided all the cars for the video, and they're putting a bit of advertising for themselves as well. And even Snap Capone, if you guys know who he is, he came and did a full music video in the Romans detailing place. So the car culture in Bradford is definitely huge. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you want to go to the biggest car road show in the world, it might just actually be Bradford.
Like you said, people don't know,
Yeah, they don't know. Every corner, there's mad cars, 20-plate cars, 21-plate cars, like brand new, fresh cars. And if you love cars, it's definitely one of the places to come.
Yeah. Like you said, just walk about the street, you'll see them.
You'll see Ferraris, Lambos, G-classes, everything.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a positive. It is a positive. I mean, there are a few negatives that come with the car culture, but I feel like that's something to do with individuals. But if we're just talking about the car culture in itself, if you love cars, it's definitely a place to come. I mean, you get people in London now that go in on the high street and they take pictures of the cars, don't they, and put it on their Instagram. I mean, we easily could have some photographers come here and do it here as well. They could make a big name for themselves.
True. And again, you've got, I mean, compared to London as well, you've got the fact that you can actually drive around Bradford, which you can't do in London.
Exactly.
You can park.
I mean, if you got a car in London, like, let's be honest, you've got to have a bit more than just a car. You can't just have the car and get around. You got to have a lot behind you because the fees are ridiculous. But if we're talking about in Bradford, it's like everyone has a motor, don't they? And if you don't, then someone who you know does have a car.
Yeah.
There's not, like, the walking culture is fine, but it's very much predominantly a car culture in Bradford. I mean, even with the businesses, if you want to name some of the shisha places, a lot of them are like, at the moment, well, actually, now that lockdown's been lifted, not so much, but they've got like car drive up shisha, haven't they? Because they know that it can work here.
Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Tell us a bit, because that's another Bradford innovation, isn't it? That's another thing. we're ahead of the
car
game on.
or about the businesses.
About
The shisha place, the shisha,
About
yeah.
the shisha place as well. I'm sure Pasha's is easily one of the biggest shisha places in Bradford. Everyone knows about that. There's Janoons. They're really a high quality exterior type. So, for example, when you go in there, it's very aesthetically pleasing. You know, it's done up so nice, and their shishas are quite good. And I've also know that the boys from Smoky Park, so they're the boys that are making noise. They're the largest drive-in shisha place in the UK when they first opened. I'm not too sure anymore because, you know, people like to come and steal our ideas and take it for their own.
True.
But in Smoky Park, them boys, they definitely are doing a big thing there. So you can go, you can park up, you can get your pink tea from round the corner from Cha Cha Chai's and then sit at Smoky Park and have a nice shisha. And also on Leeds Road, there's Vogue Lounge. That's another park up shisha. Them guys, when Anthony Joshua's last fight, they were so busy, the whole of Leeds Road came to a standstill. And they had a big, massive cinema screen there for people to watch boxing. So you see, even though they're doing just, you know, the park up shisha, in my eyes, it's a bit helping the youth as well, because you're keeping them away from a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit like a youth center. So you can go there, relax, meet people, smoke shisha, and I'll be honest, they're kicking. It's really busy. People are coming from all over the country to check them out. People are coming all over the country to check them out and then take the idea and use it for themselves.
Yeah. I'm not giving us credit, not talking about Bradford afterwards.
Yeah, they won't give us credit, but do you know what? That's changing slowly. That's slowly changing.
Yeah.
I think if we don't get credit, we at least stop them from stealing our ideas.
Do you know what it is? I'll be honest, like, there's a sense of originality that a little bit that we have here, along with the copycat culture. So there's a bit of a mix. But if we're talking about other cities coming here to try out the things we have here, I mean, it's very innovative in Bradford, very. And people do, when they think of an idea, they'll just go out and they'll try it. There's not many things holding us back. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but Bradford's the second most entrepreneurial city in the UK. London's after us, and Portsmouth is number one. And you got to remember, we're a little city of 500,000 people. 500,000 people in this city, and we're the second most entrepreneurial city in the whole of the UK. And that says something. That's not just me saying it. That's an official statistic.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's like, and even another thing, like I have a business account with Barclays and I do my business banking with them, and they will tell you themselves, the analysis of Barclays, that Bradford business sector is booming. It's literally one of the best places in the UK to start a business. And that's not coming from me. This is not my own opinion. This is coming from Barclays.
Yeah.
Yes, and they'll tell you themselves, like, it's just the start up is very low, along with the footfall is huge. And then the array of the different types of people we have here willing to try different cultures and different foods. All of this takes a big factor into how great this city is. I mean, people don't, we have over 85 languages spoken in this city alone.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Maybe even more, mate. Maybe even more.
I think I saw something that in schools it's like 180 something languages.
Oh yeah.
So even
In schools it's 180, and then if you get out of schools, some of the languages that aren't spoken widely, you're probably hitting the hundreds.
Yeah. And like you say, all of different people, different backgrounds, coming together, different ideas, sharing those ideas, creating new ideas. Yeah. This is, like you said, there's a real spirit to the place, isn't it? Yeah, and
there is. It's like I always, It's like I always say this one quote to my friends. I always say, down south they got the clout, but up north we got the sauce.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Because no one, do you know what it is? No one's trying to fake it around here. No one's trying to be nothing. Like everyone's they are themselves, and if you don't like it, they don't care. Whereas I'm not to, disregard any other cities, but generally when people are going to work in a bigger city and they're working for bigger companies, they're trying to portray themselves as someone so they can climb up the ladder. But here, no one does that. No one's, do you know what I mean? No one's trying to act like nothing else. I mean, if we can move on to the music scene, let's just move on to the music scene.
Yeah, let's go for it.
That. Let's just talk about Bad Boy Chiller Crew. No one saw them coming out of nowhere. Do you get what I mean? And the reason they have blown so big working with Sony, and Vice even came to Bradford and did a documentary on them, it's because they are authentic. That's the main reason. It's not like, you might not like their music, it might not be what you normally groove to, but what really attracts people to them is the fact that they are being themselves, they're acting like themselves, and they're not changing. Do you get what I mean? So you see, like, people change as their careers go on. These guys are authentic as hell. Like, you still will see them getting about in Bradford, even though, let's be honest, they've got more followers and more views than some of the artists in London. Yeah, and that is crazy.
On the Vice interview, one of them was saying that he still works in Iceland back in shelves as well.
Yeah. And that just shows the character of the people around here. I mean, they're not judging you. No one's judging you for being.
And he's still working hard as well as the extra thing he's got going.
That's what I mean. And you know, that sort of character, that sort of human essence, that sort of person is, I'll be honest, it's not easy to come by. Like,
especially not these days. You're right. Yeah, there's no fake it till you make it. You just make it and get on with it, don't you?
That's it. That's what. And that's another thing. I mean, if we're talking about the music scene, a lot of people don't know how big the scene is, even in Leeds, because Leeds and Bradford, they're very much like one place. That's how I feel generally anyway. It's very much like one place, because if Leeds get big, Bradford gets big. If Bradford makes noise, Leeds makes noise. And if we're talking about music, just in Bradford alone, we've got a guy called Firstborn. So he's like a producer, rapper. He's worked with so many big artists in London, multi-platinum albums he's produced music beats on. And recently, I think he's taken a more active role in producing and releasing his own tracks on his own. So he's making a big move in Bradford. Another person I could that I can name is Hayes the Martian. Hayes the Martian made a tune with Tom Zanetti and Dappy, and within 4 days, it got like 5-6 million views. He's making his own views here, making his own name here. We can easily talk about Zayn Malik. I mean, he's easily one of the biggest solo artists in the world.
True. It's true.
And there's loads of guys making big moves. I mean, there's a new guy called Amir Plaza. He literally just got on BBC Asian Network the other day with DJ Limelight. And it's slowly getting there. But the thing that we don't have is a platform or someone congratulating our people from our city. Most of the time, what we'll have is, if you type in Bradford into Google, most of the time what you'll see is crime-related or majority like...
Crime rate's not even that bad here. And it compare it to nothing compared to London.
The only thing that ever gets mentioned in national news about Bradford is that. Nothing else.
It's not even that bad here. Not even compared to Manchester. Even compared to Manchester, it's not, is it?
The numbers, the thing is, if you put it in percentage, no, it's not that much. But if you put it in terms of who highlights what goes on in Bradford, 100% it's negativity.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And that little bit there, it really needs to change, because I don't know why it's like that. It's because maybe the stigma that we have about Bradford, that I'm sure you guys have probably experienced yourself when you mention that you're from Bradford. They've never been, they've never seen it, but they'll have this opinion about Bradford.
Yeah.
And if you bring them to this town and they spend a day here, they will literally, that stigma's eliminated.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like online, what do we have? We don't have anyone promoting the people here, the South Asian excellence, even the Polish excellence, the Sudanese excellence, Libyan excellence.
Yeah.
We've got so many cultures here that they're doing like massive, massive things, even in the charity sector. But who's congratulating them? No one.
You're right. It's a marketing issue and it's not based on reality. Yeah. And people who come here, it's completely different to what their perception is, and you just got to get here and see it for yourselves. Yeah,
and I think the solution to that though is I don't think the national media is going to change its coverage of Bradford, but if we can do coverage of Bradford,
yeah.
Let's just do it. Let's do it ourselves. No messing about. Let's get on it.
At the end of this call, I'll tell you a little bit about my project. Maybe you'll see how I'm trying to change it, but we'll leave that till the end.
Watch this space, everyone.
Yeah.
There'll be more coming. We're not going to stop. Yeah, we're going to keep coming.
Definitely. But in Bradford, I mean, like the crime and the drugs and the negativity and maybe even the speeding, like that happens everywhere. Every single city in this town has those problems. It's just with our town, like I said before, no one's highlighting the businesses. I mean, let's just talk about Akbar's for 1 second. He started in a 10-seater restaurant. 10-seater restaurant, and I'm sure now, when I spoke to him last time, he told me he's got over 12 enterprises all over the UK now, and he's hopefully opening one in Mayfair.
Oh, well, there you go.
And he started in a 10-seater restaurant.
What year did he start? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. I'll be honest. I'm not too sure. It was probably in the 90s. Easy. I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s. But
so 12 restaurants already. That's big. I've got a story about Akbar's. I was vegetarian for a year, and I was walking through Foster Square train station. And I smelled some food and it's nice. And I looked over and I said, that smells nice. We've got an Akbar's box, lamb chops. They've gone, do you want one? And I thought, it smells too good to turn it down. And now I've spoken to them first and they're offering it. I can't turn it down. I took it, ate a lamb chop. That would end up me being a vegetarian. So there you go. So in tune to meat eater.
You know what? That might be against. That's quite bad, though. I'll be honest, Danny.
I know. Yeah, it doesn't make me look good, but it makes fault. It's my fault. It's me being weak. Yeah, but I couldn't resist it. Yeah.
You know what? Them lamb chops are famous, man.
They really aren't, they, mate.
Famous.
And apparently for good reason. If they manage to convert people.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's me just being a not good vegetarian, but still, you can't argue with flavour.
No, definitely, man.
Yeah, so you got the rest of it. Go on,
and then the other one we wanted to ask you about was the hair and beauty scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the hair and beauty. Okay, so we can split this up into sections. First of all, if we're just talking about Asian fashion and, the Asian culture fashion, there are so many Asian clothes shops in Bradford. I mean, one of the biggest names is Janan's, and they're just behind Great Horton Road. I mean, these guys, they do I'm pretty sure they're more of a luxury style Asian clothes, but their store and their growth, from what I've seen it, is absolutely huge. I'm pretty sure even on Instagram, they got over 100K followers. And they've worked with a lot of big celebrities in terms of the fashion. If you want to get Asian clothes, another place that might be good for you is the Bradford Plaza, which is in Thornbury. That's like literally about 20, 30 Asian shops. You can go in, you can check out what you want. I mean, if you went on Eid, it was like mad. Absolutely crazy how it was. And I'm pretty sure it was open till about 4 or 5 o'clock at night before Eid, and people were still buying their clothes. Coming from everywhere. I mean, Blackburn, Oldham, Manchester, Luton. People come from a lot of places just to get like saris, salwar kameez, and all those sort of clothes just from Bradford. That's just the fashion. If we talk about the beauty, there's big names in Bradford who are doing massive things in terms of makeup. Like, obviously, I don't wear makeup. I'm not too big on that scene, but I do know of some of the names of people who do, like, you know, bridal looks and do Mendy looks. And some of the people I can just mention, there's a girl called Sharma Malik. So she's really big on Insta, and you know, I'm pretty sure that she gets booked out to go down to London and come up to like Luton and whatnot and do a lot of makeup for a lot of people. So if we're talking about influencers, beauty influencers, there are a fair amount here. And even Zayn Malik's sister, Donya Malik, she does big things. She's got a big following. If we're mentioning some more, off the top of my head, I can't actually remember, but there's a place called Zara Bridal Studio, and they do big makeup looks for people on their wedding, on the Mendy, and I'm pretty sure they are huge, and they're nationwide known all over the UK. But again, no one's congratulating them. And if you want to talk about fashion in another sense, let's just talk about suits. I don't know how you guys feel about suits, but me personally, I love my suits. I love them. And there's a place, literally, it's around the corner from where I live, called IK Collections. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, so IK Collections, them guys, they make suits for everyone. And when I say everyone, I'm talking footballers, celebrities, influencers, everyone. Like, there's a show called Celebs Go Dating. I don't know if you guys know it. It's on Channel 4.
I was just watching it yesterday. Literally, I was just watching it yesterday. Yeah. Guilty pleasure of mine.
If you see a suit on that show, IK Collections made it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
Tom
that.
Zanetti, all the suits he wears, they made it. That I think Wayne Lineker, he got suits, they were made from there. There's another guy, I don't know what's the guy's name from Love Island, the dancer.
The dancer. Oh, Curtis, is it?
Yeah, Curtis.
Curtis,
he's wearing suits from IK Collections, and literally, if you went into the shop and you saw the quality of the suits, the way they treat you, the service that they give you, because there's a guy in there, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but he's been in the suit industry for over 50 years. So he knows what he's talking about. And IK Collections in itself has been running for a very, very long time. They make suits, they make salwar kameezes, so, you know, they make suits for weddings, even for guys. And that's what they focus on. And they're huge. Amit Khan comes to them, everyone comes to them. And again, actually, another thing, they are making quite a big of a wave in Bradford, because they were on ITV a couple of weeks ago, and they've been all over the newspapers recently, because there is a little bit of a change coming in Bradford in terms of highlighting, you know, excellence in our city and stuff like that. And they're definitely at the forefront of it. So if you guys want a suit, you know where to go.
That's definitely where we get my next suit.
Yeah,
we'll have to go down together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You see, I've heard of them, but I didn't know all those details. Like you said, we're not getting the information out there. Even I don't know it, and I've been in Bradford all my life. I didn't know all that stuff. Yeah. And just to touch on something you said there, you mentioned Amit Khan, obviously famous boxer.
Yeah.
This is another part of Bradford we don't get there. There's sport here.
Yeah.
The gyms here, we've got some great gyms, fitness culture, combat sports gyms. We've got it all, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we're talking bodybuilding, we've got world champions in this city. And you got to remember, Bradford's got 26 postcodes. I think it's about 26 postcodes. So we've got like Keighley, Bingley, Saltaire, all of those areas. And we've got bodybuilders. Honestly, I forgot their name. I should have written them down. But some bodybuilders that they are like, they've won championships, like worldwide championships. And the thing is, it's like fitness is a huge part of the city, a huge part. And if we're just talking in sports, we've got these guys here in the bodybuilding. They're world known. They have won competitions. Let's move to boxing. In boxing, we've got big names. Zishan Khan, he's making big, big moves. I'm pretty sure he hasn't even lost a fight. And also, if lockdown didn't happen, he would have had a lot more fights. He's got a friend, Jermaine Springer. He's doing massive. There's Hamad Ghazi. He's huge. And in terms of boxing, obviously, you got to remember, with the success of Prince Naseem and Amir Khan, it influences the next generation. And if it influences the next generation, how do they have the facilities and the trainers to help them? In Bradford, they have that. We have a lot of boxing gyms. We have a lot of boxing champions and a lot of boxing coaches who can teach the young guys exactly the right way to go. And I think that is something that also needs to be highlighted. And if we move on from boxing, we can move on to sports, football. I'll tell you one thing I truly believe in, and that is England won't win a World Cup without South Asian footballers in their team. Yeah. I truly, honestly believe that. And you know, the thing is, it's because, you know how like people, they associate some people with attributes, don't they? And they say, oh, particular type of person has speed, particular type of person has discipline, particular type of person, you know, has pace. Well, South Asians, they have pace, power, and the most of all is they have a hunger that I don't see in the English teams when they're losing. And I'm sorry to say, but like, I love the English team. I love football and I want us to win a World Cup, but I don't think they're going to get it without some of the Asian talent in Bradford in that team. And we're talking Mason Greenwood, one of the most prolific strikers for Manchester United. Now, where's he from? From Bradford. He's from
Bradford boy. Yeah.
We got a few other members like that. Even boxers, hijabi boxers, that like they're making a big wave. Girls, I'm pretty sure one's called Sana Khan. She's had a few professional fights and she's going to be making a bit more waves. But you got to remember, lockdowns put a stunt on a lot of people's growth.
In MMA, I know we've had a few female who at amateur level have been European champions and competed at world championships and stuff. Female MMA fighters in the city. Fabian Delph. It's getting bigger as well. We've got some good gyms coming up and starting to produce some real talent. Yeah.
Just across the pond on Leeds, I mean, you've got really big MMA fighters there. Really huge MMA fighters.
Yeah. It's a big growing sport as well. But just to go back to what you said about South Asian footballers, when I played football, two of the top teams in the league were full of South Asian players.
Yeah.
The talent's definitely there. Why do you think it's not really seems to getting through to pro level? Why aren't they getting into the professional leagues? Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually did a part of my dissertation on this actually. So there's a couple of factors, if you're asking my opinion, is I think one factor that's slowly changing is the encouragement from the family. So in predominantly Asian families, education is pushed onto the children and onto the youth. And it's not because they don't believe in the other sectors. That's not why they push them into the education route. They push them into the education route because they did not have the chance to experience it full force. Because you got to remember, a lot of the people were second generation, third generation, fourth generation from immigrants, aren't we, coming from the other countries. So they didn't have the luxury of having the educational system that we have here in the UK. So that's why they push it. So when it comes to, you know, going to training 3 times a week, going to matches on a Sunday, going to another cup game down south on a Wednesday, all these sort of things, they kind of push back with the family. So that can be one factor. Another factor is opportunity. Now, they say there's no racism in football, but that's absolutely bullshit. I'll tell you right now.
I can tell you stories as well,
I mean, like, we can try to eliminate it as much as we can, and I'm really happy that, you know, people like Rio Ferdinand and Ian Wright, they're really pushing, trying to eliminate racism in football. But the racism we see in football, if we're talking about the mainstream at the moment, is predominantly against black players. And in the Premier League, we have less than 5 South Asian people. So we haven't yet experienced the racism against the South Asian people. But if you want to look at the lower levels, bearing in mind,
I'm going to say the youth level, that's different, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the youth levels. Like I've played in a lot of leagues around Bradford and Leeds, and I will tell you firsthand myself. I can tell you one of the big teams I've played for. But you know what? I don't want to like shame them or anything. But they're probably. I don't want to say anything about them, but just in my experience on my own, I'll tell you. So I was playing for a team, huge team, probably the biggest team in Bradford, yeah. We played in a tournament. I scored in all 4 games leading to the final. I scored 2 goals or 1 goal. Every goal was a winning goal. It came to the final. The scouts came to see me. They came to watch me. And in the final, what he did was he bought his son, who barely plays football. He's not even in the team. He brought him in the team. He put his name in, and he took me out and he put him in. And we lost the final. And guess what? We didn't score any goals. And at that time, I was a striker. And me being, a young 17, 18-year-old lad at that time, I was an aggressive person. So I did not take that lightly, and I literally left the team. And what that does is, now as I'm looking older, is I'm definitely not the only person that experienced that. There's going to be hundreds of other South Asian young boys and girls that are trying to get into football, but guess what? The coach doesn't like you. The coach has a hidden agenda. Yeah. And on top of that, that stunts the growth of getting South Asians into football. I mean, literally the day the FA Cup went, and Hamza Chowdhury was the first Bengali person to ever win the FA Cup. And you know what? Congratulations to him, because that's amazing. And we need more achievements like that in order to inspire the youth. And also we need encouragement from the families. And on top of that, we need to highlight that talent that we have here in Bradford. I mean, all the teams here, let's just talk about some of the Premier teams that are doing big things in Bradford in terms of getting footballers in and, helping them grow. There's BD3 United. There's Todd Lane.
I know about BD3. I used to play against them. And when I played, they were top in the league, and they actually quit the league I was in because of the amount of racism they were facing from other teams. And it was very real.
Used to lose against them, right?
You probably played against me then.
I might have done. Yeah, we definitely lost. We never beat BD3. Yeah.
You won't beat them, because it's that hunger I'm telling you about. Yeah. They don't want to lose. They will die before they lose.
But I know what you're saying. The racism is very real. I've seen some of it myself back in the day. I've seen quite a bit of it myself against South Asian players. It's very real. Yeah.
It is.
And if you get rid of that a bit, like you said, the England team, they might pick up a few future stars, you know what I mean? And it might push us over the edge and might actually win something.
But it's playing like a double role there, the race, because it's both like immediately preventing people from doing it and also demotivating people from wanting to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Takes the fun out of it some of the time, doesn't it?
It's like a ripple effect. Do you know what I mean? You got to imagine, as a young Asian boy, I'm talking about the time when I was growing up. Thankfully, my family were fair enough. They were really pushing me towards it. And they were really, whatever I chose, they were happy. But unfortunately, not every family is like that. And some families will say, right, no, do you know what? Forget the football. You're not going to make it. There's 1 in a million chance. Go learn and go become a doctor. Go get a professional job. And the ripple effect is massive. It's absolutely huge, because the way it demotivates someone from trying to achieve their dreams, it's like, how do you tell someone that your dream is you're not going to make it? I mean, that is so demoralizing as a human to another human. And then you're seeing someone who, let's say, is a big coach in football. he knows what he's talking about, and he tells you, do you know what? No, you're not good enough. And do you know what? No, you're just on the bench. You're too short. You're too small. All these things, no matter what it is, it doesn't just have to be racism. It can be anything. I mean, I'm sure Messi got told he was too small.
They had him on human growth hormone, didn't they? To try and get him bigger. What's it matter? When you got skills like him, it doesn't really matter, does it?
That's what I'm saying, because do you know what? Hard work beats talent, and that's the fact.
I like just out of nowhere, we take a dig at Messi's height.
I'm a Ronaldo supporter.
No. Well, yeah. His coach is trying to get him bigger. Don't matter when you're that good. Don't matter when you're that good. Yeah.
No, but definitely the sport in Bradford. I mean, like BD3, Toller Lane, there's Campion, there's Manningham, there's Idol FC as well. Like, you know, these guys are all making moves in the right direction. And football's one of those sports where you don't look at someone's race and someone's colour. And if one person in your team does, I'll tell you right now, that guy does not deserve to be playing football.
Yeah, we need to get rid of some of it because it's getting in the way of some, like you said, developing some real talent.
Yeah, and in the way of us winning a World Cup, because what we're doing so far isn't working, obviously.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, and just to go even more on sport, you know, it's not just football or your combat sports, cricket. Got some top cricket players around
Moeen Ali. We've got Moeen Ali, he's big. Like, there's Mohsin Ashraf, I think his name is. He's doing big. I mean, cricket's a big sport especially in Yorkshire. There's a lot of talent in Yorkshire. But I don't know if you can name one sport where we're not doing well.
True. Even stuff like track and field, athletics, middle distance, cycling. We're producing top athletes around Bradford.
We are.
Overall, I think, like you said, Yorkshire overproduces good sports people.
Yeah. What was it in the Olympics? We'd have come 10th for last time if it was just Yorkshire on its own or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's accurate, but I'm gonna claim that Yorkshire would have beat the rest of the UK.
It might not be true, but
I did say I don't think it's accurate, but
but anyway. Don't know until we've actually tried, you know what I mean? Could be a different result.
No,
so like you said, Matt, like, let's get some of this excellence, high achievement, enterprising, go get it attitude, let's get it outlet. We've got it in space in Bradford. We just need to show people. Thank you so much for telling us quite a bit about it, and I'm sure we'll be back for more. I'll be seeing what your project is as well. You've got some things in the pipeline as well, I know. So,
I mean, if we, after everything we've been talking about, the main theme of what we've been saying is there's no one promoting us. There's no one. So the main theme that we've been talking about is who's congratulating us, who's putting out there that Bradford's actually this in a positive limelight and not in a negative. Who's talking about the musicians we got? Who's talking about the business enterprises we've got? No one's doing that. And if I'm not saying no one's doing it, sorry. What I mean to say is no one's making a big dent doing it. And the project that I've got coming, that's solely my main focus, is to eliminate the stigma about what people have about Bradford. And I've got a platform coming. It's called Talk to Techniques. It's not about what you build, it's about how you build it. We're going to be in the form of podcasts, freestyles, and business promos. And we're just going to highlight everything in Bradford, as well as Leeds and surrounding areas, basically the north. And you know what? I feel like it's time that someone did that. And especially with the Bradford's bid for culture, I think there's no better time, because how I describe my city to people is that it's on the verge of excellence. It's a gold mine that no one's noticed yet. It's Sierra Leone. It's a blood diamond. You get me? Like people, they're not ready for the content that's going to be coming out soon on this channel. But I'll tell you what, even us guys, like, we're going to be working together in the future. Like, trust me, we're going to build the name up, because if you just type in Bradford into Google, it's straight up negativity.
Yeah.
Straight away, boom.
And I think there's so much more.
I think one thing that we can do,
more.
and Bradford should do, and like you said before, that sort of Bradfordians don't really care what other people think of them to an extent. Obviously, we do want to have this image of Bradford improved, but I think for Bradford city culture and for what we're all doing, let's improve Bradford so that we all see how amazing it is in Bradford.
Yeah.
And if other people aren't looking, so what? You know, we've made the city better for ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know what? Even in the arts and culture sector, like, let's just talk about like culture-wise, yeah. In the whole world, what's going on right now? Look at what's going on in Palestine. Look at what's going on in Libya. Look at what's going on in Afghanistan. Cultures are finding it hard to mix and to live with one another. But if you want to see a proven system that works and that can work around the whole world, you can come to Bradford and you can see hundreds of different cultures working together, speaking together, associating with each other. There's no segregation here. There's no segregation, like everyone works with everyone. There's like, I barely see any racism in Bradford, if I'm absolutely honest. Like, fair enough, I've seen it in the football and whatnot, but those are little-minded individuals. But if you're talking about true Bradfordians, like, honestly, the culture we have here and the heartbeat we have in Bradford is second to none in the whole world. And honestly, that's a true fact.
Yeah, and we got a show.
No place has a heartbeat. No place has a heartbeat like Bradford.
Yeah, and the mixing is certainly not something you get elsewhere in the country.
No,
I don't think
in bits of Bradford, you ain't got a choice, have you? And so you ain't got a choice, and then you get to meet these people, and eventually you go, you know what, these are all right. You know what, they're interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they're not that different, and some of the ways they are different is actually I can learn stuff from them as well. You know what I mean? So yeah,
trust me, it's true. Yeah. It's a place where people don't care if you like them or not. And at the same time, if you show love, you're going to get love.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? Like, that's the way it works around here. If you're being disrespectful and you're not being a nice human to those people, like, they will remember that. Yeah. They'll remember that forever.
But at the same time, I think we're quite open in the outset, though.
Yeah.
Always nice to newcomers.
Yeah. Another thing about Bradford is the charity that we give as a city.
Yeah,
huge.
The help that people just give to each other with nothing back.
I mean, during lockdown, like Mahe Rahman's, Khan's, and Mr. T's, a lot of businesses got together and they were giving free food out to people that were in need and people that were in isolation and whatnot. And also,
some of it to NHS as well, wasn't there? Some of it was going straight to NHS for the nurses and doctors who were pulling those long-hour shifts trying to deal with this pandemic. Yeah.
Now, honestly, I mean, like, you'll see big charity organizations. They'll get set up here, have one day of like fundraising, and you know what? I've had people I know from Human Appeal, Penny Appeal, and a few other organizations tell me one day in Bradford is equivalent to a week in Luton or equivalent to a week in Birmingham. Wow. And you know, this is coming from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? These are statistics you're not going to find online. And that's another beautiful part about Bradford.
Yeah.
Always ready to help people.
Yeah, the very very giving people.
Like you said, so many good points that people don't know about. We're going to get it out there. Though. Looking forward.
Yeah, looking forward to watching,
seeing what you've got. Really looking forward to seeing it. Thanks so much for speaking to us, and we'll talk to you again.
No worries, buddy. All right, buddy.